Today, I have a couple blocks I'm going to use. They're not required. As always, I'll give you options without the blocks. But what I would like you to think about through our class today, so we're going to do some breath work today, and that's going to be a big part of our focus because we really want to soothe our nervous system. So it might not be as much movement as we're used to, but we're still going to have plenty of postures, and we're going to really focus on our breath and soothing ourselves. So I want you to think about with class to not force or overexert. So we're going to move into some nice stretches, some postures that will open up the body, but we're not going to, often I'm telling you to press down here and really extend here. It's going to be more like, okay, take a little flexion in the toes. So a slight engagement, taking a nice stretch to your comfortable edge. And if it's not comfortable, I'd like you to back off today. So let's see. Carmen says, I'm from Spain. I don't understand very well. But yoga is international. Yes, Carmen. So thank you for joining. Do your best, follow along. And then, of course, if there's anything that you doesn't feel good in your body, you don't understand, modify, adjust as you need to. So thank you for joining, Carmen. I appreciate that. All right. Having said all that, now that we're 7 minutes in, let's go ahead and get started in a comfortable seat. If you want to prop up your seat with a blanket or block, go for it. And I'm going to move back to my mat. And if you're just joining, we are here for about 40-minute yoga practice, 10 to 15-minute meditation. And I encourage everyone to stay for the meditation if they can. All right, so with your breath work, you can just sit in a simple cross-legged position. You can have one heel in front of the other. You can sit on a block if you'd like. And I think I'm going to take that option today just because of how I'm feeling. So I'm going to place my block between my feet, and then I like to roll my calves out of the way as I sit down. But somewhere you can hold for a few minutes as we begin to come into our breath. So relax the shoulders down and let's arrive on our mats together. Let your face be soft. Maybe take a few wiggles. Just notice how you're feeling. And we're going to start with a very simple breath work, and I don't know the name of it, full transparency. But we're going to breathe in through the nose and pause, and then breathe in a little sip of air more and pause. And then we'll take a really long, slow exhale out the mouth. And I'd like you to think, can you double the length of your inhale or double the length of your exhale over your inhale. So if you inhale for 4 in total, exhale for 8. And it might not be exactly that. I'm not going to count, but we want to soothe our nervous systems, calm our energy. We're going to ground a little bit. So we'll be a lot on the mat today, just so you know, not as much standing. Let your face soften and just arrive here. Perhaps setting an intention for yourself of just some self-care today. Or if there's something else that you feel like you need, you can bring that in. And we'll begin our breath work. So breathing in through the nose, filling up the belly, and pausing, and taking another sip of air. Inhale, pause and hold, and exhale, long, slow exhale out the mouth. Keep going with your breath. Inhaling through the nose. Pause. Inhale a little more. Pause. Exhale out the mouth. Let's do a few more rounds at your pace now. Inhaling. Pausing. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Let's go for another 30 seconds to a minute. Keep going. Just noticing how your nervous system begins to calm and you feel a little more soothed. And let's do one more round. When you finish, let your breath just be natural, in and out of the nose. Blink the eyes open. If you're on a block, you can go ahead and move that off to the side. We're going to come into a simple cross-legged seat if you're not already there. Place your right shin in front of your left. Sit with a long, tall spine for a moment. And we'll take a little crescent to the right fingertips to the side. Inhale, lengthen through the left side body. And exhale, bend towards the right. Just grounding down through both sits bones. And notice where your gaze wants to go. Maybe it comes down today. Maybe it comes up. Maybe it stays neutral. Allow yourself to just sort of naturally lengthen. Maybe that right elbow even comes down to the ground. Mine doesn't go there. But just feeling into the side body, beginning to bring your breath to that space. One more breath here. Inhale, come on up. Facing your left knee, begin to crawl yourself out towards your left knee. Fingertips come long. Back of the neck relaxes. So sometimes we look forward and that's all well and good, but then let your chin come down. Feel the length through the back of your neck. So good. Another breath or two. And feel free at any point to take a long, slow exhales out the mouth. I'll be cueing that. And there might be points or practice where we add in a little more breath work. And come on up with your next inhale. Let's take a gentle neck stretch. So letting your left ear come towards your left shoulder, right hand just down on the ground or on your leg. Let your left hand come around the side of your head, even to your ear, and let it be a little gentle weight, and then your right shoulder relaxes down. If that doesn't feel good, find a spot that does feel good. If it's too much on the ear, just place your hand gently on the closer to the crown of the head. It's still on the side of the head. You can even bring it as far down as your fingertips to your jaw. That's a little much for me today. Just stay here for a few more breaths, noticing how the weight of your hand really increases that stretch. If it's too much, just back off. Remember, we're not forcing anything today. We're here to soothe our nervous systems. One more breath. Long, slow exhale. Using your left hand, gently bring your head back to center, nice and slow. Relax both hands down, pause, and just feel that for a moment. So good. Let's switch the cross of our legs, left shin in front now. And we'll take a crescent to the left hand out to the side. Inhale, right arm extends. Exhale, crescent over to the left. Ground down through your sits bones. Lengthen through the side of your body. Let your face be soft and relaxed. So release that tension from between the eyebrows. One of my favorite ways to relax my face is just to do a little smile. I know I say that a lot of times. Give yourself a smile. Maybe just a slight smile. The eyes can be closed at any point. One more breath. Inhale, come on up. Face towards your right knee and begin to crawl your fingertips out in front of you. Relax the chin down. If you have the space, you can always place a block here. I don't have that space today. But you can use a block under your forehead. You can even stack fists if you have the space. It just depends on really the proportions of your body. And, of course, your openness in that outer left hip. And a couple more breaths here. Good. Go ahead and crawl yourself up on your next inhale. And then left hand just rest gently on the left knee. Right hand to the side of your head, right ear towards right shoulder. Fingertips around by your left ear. Left shoulder relaxes down the back. And then stay for a few breaths, just feeling that gentle weight of your hand and arm. Softening your face, relaxing your jaw a little bit. Tongue releases from the roof of your mouth. You don't even know we hold tension there sometimes. You might be clenching the jaw. I always feel it between the eyebrows, right? That's how we get that little lovely wrinkle that most of us get. The 11s, right? If anyone knows what I'm talking about. Those two lines that kind of when we furrow our brow up here. So relax that space. Let's take another breath or so. So good. And then gently release your right hand. Use your right hand to lift your head. Come back to center. Relax the hand down. Pause. And just feeling into your body can help soothe your nervous system. Noticing what you're experiencing can help bring you back to your center. You can do that at any point in your day. And let's go ahead and uncross the legs. We're going to come to Upavishta Konasana, wide leg position. Let's draw your right heel towards your right groin. Sorry, I didn't realize. Right in the way there. Left leg extended. Left toes are slightly flexed. We're not like really super engaging this left leg, but a little bit of engagement. Just sit with a long, tall spine and begin to crawl your hands forward any amount. Just for a minute here. Enjoying that nice inner thigh stretch, hamstring stretch. And if it's like you're out here and you're like rounding your back, come on up and lengthen your spine. We often think, oh, I have to stretch as far as possible, and then we kind of roll into this shell shape. We become turtles, right? So lengthen your spine a little bit. Another breath. And inhale, come on up. Face your right knee, your bent knee. Crawl yourself forward over your right knee, and then this is a great spot for a block. Your left bum is going to lift up, left cheek. You can place a block under your forehead. I love this. If you don't have a block, you can stack your fists and place your forehead on your fists. So this is a pretty gentle hamstring stretch because we're just letting that left cheek come up. And then when we support the forehead and put a little pressure on your third eye, that's actually very soothing to the nervous system. It helps stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system. Let's take one more breath here. And inhale, come on up. Straighten both legs out in front of you just for a moment. Give them a little shake and then sit still. Feel the length in your spine just for a moment. And then right leg out to the side, left heel towards your groin. We'll start with that slightly deeper stretch. Begin to walk your hands forward any amount. Right toes are slightly flexed, so we're not lazy in the right leg, but we're not over-engaging. Face is soft, spine is long, and then the back of the neck is long, so chin slightly down. We'll hold here for a couple more breaths, and as we hold, you might feel like, okay, I can bring my forearms down to the ground, or maybe I want to stretch my arms long. You decide how far you go, and this can be a lot, I know, so sometimes our hamstrings in the morning are not happy. They're usually a little better by the end of the day, but just notice how you're feeling. Let's take one more breath. So good. Inhale, come on up. Face your bent knee. Begin to crawl yourself forward towards the left knee. Right cheek is going to lift. You can stack your fists. Let your forehead rest. Use your block. If neither are comfortable, of course, you can just stay upright. And right toes are still slightly flexed. Just enjoying the stretch. So when we kind of hold poses a little longer, if anyone does yin classes, and this is not a yin class, but when we hold these sort of stretching poses longer, it really helps us get deeper into the tissues. Let's just do one more breath. And you really need to hold a long time to get real deep into the tissues, but So this is a bit more of a deep stretch / Hatha class. Go ahead and come on up. Let's swing ourselves around to tabletop. And let's just take a cat-cow or so to kind of feel into the spine. So, and maybe it's not just a traditional cat-cow. Maybe you want to do some barrel rolls with the chest. Oh, that feels great. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, think of your spine as the axis, and then your body is sort of rolling around that axis. So the hips move, the spine moves. This is a great way to get into the spine, both laterally and in flexion and extension, kind of in all directions, right? And if that doesn't work for you, just take your cat-cows. And then we're going to switch and go the other direction. And it should feel really, really good. And let's come back to center. Coming to puppy pose, walk your hands forward towards the front corners of your mat. We're going to sink your heart down towards the ground. Now, if you're nice and open, you can bring your chin to the mat. I'm more of a forehead to the mat. If your forehead is floating, grab a block and place your forehead on the block, okay? So we don't want your head in space for this version. Keep your hips high, and then a little bit of pressure in the fingertips, not overly extending anything. And keep the elbows, lifted. So often we'll just kind of let them relax. Go ahead and have a little activation here. Feel that opening through your chest and underarms. And another breath or two. And if you want to come back to those nice deep inhales and exhale out the mouth, this is a great spot for that. Let's take one more breath. And inhale, crawl yourself back up. Tuck your toes, send your hips to your heels, round through your spine. So this sort of, I don't know if it's modified child's, but you're getting a little bit of cat back with a toe stretch. So good. And come on up to your knees. Keep the toes tucked. Let's take some half sun salutes from our knees. And if you need a blanket there, grab a blanket, place it under your knees. Inhale, float the arms up. And exhale, lower the hands down. Inhale to cow pose. Exhale, round to cat back, hips to heels, stretch into the feet once again. And this is going to be a little bit of a flow just for a moment. Inhale, lift the arms up. Gaze lifts. Exhale, lower the hands down. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, round the back, hips to heels. And let's take two more like that. A nice slow, gentle opening through the body, through the spine, and through the feet. And one more. Inhale, lift up. Open through the heart. Exhale, hands lower down to the mat. Inhale, cow. And long, slow exhale. Cat back to child's. And then coming back to center. Walk your hands forward. Let's move into our downward facing dog. Puppy pose is your alternate. If down dog doesn't work for you. And take a moment here in your dog. Keep your knees bent. Maybe you want to pedal one out. That feels pretty good this morning. So take any movements you need as we move into our down dog. We will be here for a few breaths. So we're getting a little stronger here, but we're not trying to overexert. So if you want to take a deep bend in the knees, that might feel good. If it becomes too much, you can come in and out of the pose, okay? So modify for you today. We're not trying to prove ourselves to anyone, right? It's the beauty of practicing online in this type of community. Nobody can see you outside of your home, right? And then just sink into it for another moment. And maybe it feels good to come up high onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels And then lowering them down a little bit. Doing that a few times. Inhaling, lift the heels. Exhale, lower. And let's do one more. And then we're going to make our way into a low lunge. So right foot lifts, look forward. Bring your right foot forward. And you can always come through tabletop and then heel toe your right foot a little bit forward. Coming into our low lunge. And this is a great spot for blocks if you want to grab them. And stay with the back knee lifted for just a moment. And then lower the back knee down, untuck the back toes, and really sink into the right knee. And in this case, your right knee might be forward of the ankle. That's okay while we're supported. We're going to adjust in just a moment. And it might feel good to do a little sway of the hip side to side. And then come back to center. And now we're going to come out of the lunge slightly, pressing up onto your right thigh. We're going to add a little neck stretch in our low crescent lunge. So we're not going to do a million activations. You might feel a little off balance, so you might need to heel toe your right foot a little bit to the right, and that'll just give you a little more stability. You're going to flip your left hand up, left arm by your side. Right hand's going to come around behind your back if you have the openness to do this. If you don't, that's okay. You can just take a neck stretch without this, but you're going to grab your left bicep with your right hand. Hug your right hip back, sink into the lunge a little bit. All right, so we're not doing a million activations, but pressing into the back foot a little bit will help your balance. And then we'll tilt right ear towards right shoulder. I was like, something's not working there. And relax your face and soften it and sink in a little bit deeper. And another breath or two. And this is a Jason Crandall move. In fact, I did a class with him this week, so a lot of the class, just to give him credit, is from his class, but nothing was too crazy or unusual postures, but this was different. And then inhale, come on up, release your hands. Fingertips to blocks or the mat. Heel to your right foot forward, straighten through your right leg, Ardha Hanumanasana. And if you want, you can walk the blocks back a little bit. And now, normally we're toes flexed, and we're going to stay here for a couple breaths with toes flexed. And then we're going to do a point of the right foot in just a moment. And I just want you to notice the difference in the stretch as we move into that. Let's take one more breath here. And now point the toes and hold. And feel that stretch. It's so different, right? For me, wow. It's like deep through the top of my foot and ankle, in front of the shin even. And come back to your breath. Long, slow exhales. We're soothing our nervous system here. Soothing with the breath, allowing the breath to do what it needs to do. Beautiful. Go ahead and come back into your low lunge. And we're going to move into a twist in our low lunge. So you can start by kind of coming up a little bit out of the lunge. We're going to hook your left elbow outside your right knee. And again, you might heel toe your right foot over a little bit. Hands to heart center. And I know you can't see me, so I'm going to swing around. Hands to heart center, and then press the palms together. Think about twisting from the midline. So right hip is still hugging back. And if you're someone that's like, this is way too slow for me today, I apologize, but you are welcome to make this as strong as you like, right? So if you want to go crazy, lift that back knee. That's not really soothing our nervous system, but I know how that works. When your brain is like, this is not what I want today. I get it. I have the same experiences. Let's do one more breath. Nice deep inhale. And long, slow exhale. So good. And release that. Plant the palms. Let's step back. Down dog. And then notice you still need to bend the knees. Can you get longer in your spine? Maybe you take a deep bend in the knees this time and then straighten the legs. Let's do that a couple times. Inhaling, bending through the knees, sits bones to the sky, and exhale, heels lower. And one more time. Great. Left side, left foot lifts. Look forward, bring your left foot all the way through. Low lunge. If you have your blocks, go ahead and put those under your hands. And then lower the back knee down. Untuck your right toes. Little wiggle side to side. I'm going to spin around. Oh, let that feel so good on the right hip. And then pause there. Press on up to your left thigh. And then sink deeply into the lunge for just a minute. Relax in the lunge. We're not doing a whole lot yet. So good. And then press up a little bit. Setting up for that next stretch. Right arm towards the body. Right palm is facing up. Left hand comes around and grabs your right bicep. All right. Heel toe your left foot over to the left. And then left ear towards left shoulder. So right hand is just slightly active. And notice how that changes the stretch. If you don't have your hand active, it's not nearly as deep, right? But you kind of a little bit active in the right hand or opening through the chest. And then let your left ear come towards your left shoulder. Really feel into that stretch. Hopefully it feels really good today. And then sink into the lunge a little deeper. Another breath or so. Last inhale. Long, slow exhale. Gently let your head come back to center. Press up out of the lunge. Fingertips to the mat or to your blocks. Heel toe, left foot forward, and then straighten through the left leg. Walk the hands back. Flex through your left toes. A few breaths here. It feels so good. This feels great to me today. And look how high up I am, right? Like I'm not trying to get as deep as I normally would. I'm just enjoying the stretch. We're enjoying the practice. It's all about self-care today. It's so good. And now let's point the left toes and hold for a few more breaths. Oh, feeling that stretch. This one is not as enjoyable for me. But it's good, right? I can't tell you how many times I talk to people and they're like, I need to stretch. I just need to stretch. And then they don't do it. And I get that. And sometimes we feel like in order to care for our bodies, we have to go to the max, but that's not true at all. We need a balance, right? Days where we push hard and work hard and days where we just honor how we're feeling. So good. Go ahead and bend back into the left knee. Curl yourself forward. We're going to come into our twist. So come up. Hook your right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Hands in prayer. And then bring your hands together. They might not make it to heart center, but just kind of envisioning really twisting through the midline. And you might need to kind of move your belly out of the way. Move your boobs out of the way. It's normal. A few breaths here. And again, if you're like, I need to be strong today, and you want to lift that back knee, go for it. If you're like, this is way too much, you can just twist upright, okay? So you don't have to go into this deep, deep twist. Let's do 2 more breaths here. And I'm feeling a little sore today. I had a lovely massage yesterday, but you know how that goes when we get into some deep, deep muscles and it's like, oh, hello. Let's take 1 more breath. Wonderful. Exhale, release. Come back to tabletop for a moment. Sway the hips side to side. Whew. Let's come to our down dog. Hips go high. Notice how you're feeling now. How's your dog feel now? Does it feel better? Do you need to bend knees and straighten legs again? If you do, go for it. Keep pressing into your index finger and thumb knuckles. Eyes of your elbows spin forward. Long, long spine. Let's do 1 more breath here. And exhale, let it go out the mouth. Wonderful. Go ahead and step one foot forward, right foot, left foot, doesn't matter. We're going to come to a wide leg forward fold. Feet are parallel. Let yourself come down about halfway. And then walk your fingertips forward. But I don't want you to come, so often I tell you to like hands flat and then walk, let your weight come forward. Weight's going to be just slightly forward, but fingertips on the ground, right? So you're not like weight bearing on your hands so much. So stay with the fingertips, crawl yourself forward, feel the stretch there. And then we're going to take a twist. So you're going to let your right hand come around to your outside of your left calf. And then we're going to bend the right elbow. You can bend the right knee as well and look under your left armpit. Ooh, say hello to some muscles and things you might not have felt in a little while. Breathe into that. If bending the right knee doesn't feel good, you can always bend both knees as well, and that might feel better. Or you can straighten both legs. Just notice what you need today. Let's take another breath. Exhale out the mouth. So good. Come back to center. Fingertips come forward. Left hand to the outside of your right shin, calf. And if you can bend the left knee, if you want, bend your left elbow and twist yourself kind of up underneath your right arm. Such a nice stretch across the back. Two more breaths. Nice deep inhale. Pause. Another sip of air. Inhale and pause. Exhale slowly out the mouth. Excellent. Return the fingertips to center. Walk your fingers under your shoulders. Bring your feet in. And we're going to arrive in Uttanasana together. Forward fold. And just relax the head down. Bend through the knees. And take as much of a bend in the knees as you like. We're going to come into Padahastasana, gorilla pose. You're going to place your right hand, flip it up and place it under your right foot. Toes go into your wrist crease, and then left hand, lift it under the left foot, toes in your wrist crease. Okay, so knees are really bent. You can see my belly and thighs are connected right now. My elbows are bent, and then I'm going to lengthen my sits bones up towards the sky just a little bit. The knees slightly straighten. They're not up here, right? I can't do that right now. So honor how you're feeling. Relax the head. Pull yourself down with the arms a little bit. And one more breath. So good. Go ahead and release the hands. Ooh, come up halfway. And then slowly rise all the way up. Tadasana. Stand in your mountain pose. Take a moment here. Feel into your body. What are you feeling right now? We're not in the strongest Tadasana. Maybe you need to kind of move and shake, releasing any extra energy there. Relax the face. Let's do our breath work together. Nice deep inhale and pause. And inhale again and pause. Slow exhale out the mouth. Let's do two more of those. Inhaling. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Slow exhale. Inhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. And one more round with your count. So good. Blink the eyes open. Now I'm going to give you an option. If you are proficient at headstand and you want to take an inversion today, by all means do that. Otherwise, you can just come to a simple seat. So headstanders, you can go there right now. I'm going to do double pigeon today, or you can just do basic Sukhasana. And we're just going to do an easy forward fold. So headstanders will be about a minute or so. The rest of us, if you want to do double pigeon, shins are parallel. My ankle's on top of my knee, and I've got my right leg on top right now. And then you're just going to crawl yourself forward. If you'd rather do Gomukhasana legs, that's an option as well, stacking knee on top of knee. Otherwise, just right shin in front of left. Fingertips forward and just feel that outer hip stretch. We won't be here so long, because if somebody's in headstand, they might not want to stay up for 5 minutes, right? A minute or two in headstand every day is fantastic, though. And if you're with me, come on up. Let's switch sides. Headstanders, you're still staying upright. And at any point you want to come down and you're in headstand, come to child's. You've got about 3 more breaths. Slow, long breath. All right, if you're in headstand, slowly and carefully come down. If you're not there yet, coming to child's. If you're in the forward fold with me, come on up. And just pause in your simple seat. And then we'll come to down dog if you are not a headstander. So just for a minute. So we all get some inversion here. One more breath. And if you're in down dog, lower to your knees. Let's all take a child's pose. Great. Then we're going to make our way up, coming to your backs. If you have a block and you want to take a restorative bridge, I can cue that. If you don't have a block, we'll just take regular bridge, okay? And if you're in regular bridge, you'll just kind of set yourself up. We'll all start, actually, let's all start in our standard bridge. So feet are about hip width distance. Fingertips maybe touch the back of your heels or just about touch the back of the heels. And then go ahead and lift your hips high. Roll the shoulder blades under. You can grab for the sides of your mat or interlace hands underneath. We've got about 5 breaths. So if you'd rather take restorative, go ahead and place your block under your sacrum. And then you'll just relax here for a few breaths. If you're not in restorative bridge and you're just holding, stay for as long as is comfortable. A few more breaths. Feeling the opening through your shoulders. And if you're in your restorative bridge, just feeling into your pelvis and allowing that space to relax, especially through the sacrum. Feels so nice. And if you're in bridge, unlace the fingertips, slowly come down. If you're in restorative bridge, you can stay right here. And for everybody, we're going to come to either a shoulder stand or legs up the wall, or you can kind of have your bum supported on a block, and you can take a variation like this. So if you don't have a block, you can slide over to a wall and let your legs come to the wall, and you just slide your bum up against it. If you are a shoulder stander and this is comfortable for you and you want to come to full shoulder stand, you can do that. Coming up, hands supporting the sacrum, elbows on the mat. If this is not comfortable for your neck, you can skip it entirely, okay? So take your version. I kind of like the version with the block. And if your legs are kind of floating in space, you can give them a nice shake. You can even shake the arms out. And then come to a place of stillness for the next few breaths. So good. If you're in shoulder stand on your next exhale, slowly come down. If you're with me, your legs are against the wall. You can stay there if you want to end your practice with legs against the wall. I'm going to let my feet come down, slowly move my block out of the way. Hug your knees into your chest, unless you're staying in your legs up the wall. And let's just take a simple supine twist. So let your knees kind of come to this tabletop position. Both knees fall to the right. Left arm out to the left or to cactus shape. And then coming back to center. Both knees to the left. Right arm out to the side. And then coming back to center. And then any final posture before Shavasana. We haven't done a lot of hip opening today. We've done some stretching, though, for the outer hips. So anything you want to do, maybe a happy baby, or just set up for your final resting pose. However feels right for you today. And sometimes you'd rather come to a seated meditation, by all means. You can even take that supported hero's pose if you'd rather sit that way. But I do invite you to come to your Shavasana for your meditation and for the remainder of your practice. And take the next few breaths to just kind of play around any final movements, any final poses that you feel will finish and complete your practice today. And thank you for the donation. If any of you would like to donate to stay in your meditation longer, by all means, I would very much appreciate that. Sometimes it's a nice reminder to take care of the tasks before your beautiful long ending meditation. And then no matter where you're at, let's come back to the breath. So even if you're lying down, you can do this breath work. Taking a nice deep inhale through the nose. Inhale again. Long, slow exhale out the mouth. And keep going with that breath work. Inhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Really work on lengthening your exhales and releasing tension. And I'll cue you when it's time to let the breath go. So today's meditation is more about the breath work. If you would like to receive some healing Reiki energy during this portion of class, just mentally tell yourself you accept this energy, and I'll be sending it to you. And allowing yourself to receive the nourishment from your breath. Receiving the healing energy. And just notice how you feel, maybe a little differently than when you started. Noticing what you're experiencing with your breath. Can it deepen this final posture? Can you allow your breath to release any bits of stagnant energy in the body? Take a few more rounds. And notice how the energy shifts. You might be feeling sensations in your body that you weren't before. Really tuning into that. Take one final round of breath work, and then we'll just let the breath flow naturally. When you've completed this last cycle, let it flow in and out of the nose, smoothly and evenly, without pause. Not controlling it, but letting it just flow as it needs to flow. Softening your face. Relaxing your jaw. Releasing tension from between the brows. Maybe even taking a soft smile for a moment. Letting the tongue rest in the bottom of your mouth. And notice where your body is contacting the earth beneath you. And allow your back body to just melt slowly and consciously into the earth. And if the mind begins to wander, that's okay. Let the thoughts float in and float out. Recognize they're there and let them move on. If feelings arise, let them be what they are. Observe them and know that they will change and shift. Releasing all judgment around whatever arises for you. And as you wander, can you bring your awareness back to your present moment? Perhaps it means bringing your awareness back to your breath, not controlling the breath, but just bringing your attention there. And just feeling this energy of the universe within you, feeling it flow through you. You are a conduit for energy. Notice the sensations in your body. Perhaps your whole body is beginning to feel alive with the energy flowing through it. I invite you to come back to your intention. What is it that you need to soothe your nervous system? What type of self-care do you need? Can your meditation be an act of self-care? Being comfortable in the present moment, in the stillness and the silence. And perhaps where you're at, there's noises happening. Can you stay present, allowing the noises to be what they are, recognizing them and letting go of whatever it is, not feeling annoyed or frustrated, and just saying, I hear that. What is your heart saying to you right now? Where do you need more love, more care, more nourishment in your life? And allow yourself to be the provider of that nourishment. So often we're looking for things externally, but the answer is right here in your heart center. And if it feels nice or okay, you might want to place a hand or both hands over your heart. Feeling the energy move to your heart space. Feeling the energy expand from your heart space. Clearing and cleansing your entire physical body and expanding beyond the physical body into your energy field. And letting your energy field expand out as much as is comfortable. Maybe it fills the room, it fills the house, it extends beyond. Just knowing that you are so loved and protected. Your angels, guides, the whole spiritual team is here every day to support you. And all the fears, all the worries, you can surrender to them. You can ask for help from your guides. And they're here for you. Anytime, anywhere. Beginning to make small movements, once again deepening your breath. Moving fingers and toes. Larger movements with wrists and ankles. Maybe it feels nice to take a full body stretch. And gently make your way onto one side. Press yourself up into a seat. We'll close our practice together today. Drawing hands to heart center. And close with the sound of Om. Feel free to chant along or just listen. Exhaling your breath completely. Nice deep inhale through the nose. Sending yourself love and gratitude for showing up for your care today. And sending that love and gratitude to all of those practicing around the world together. And expanding that love and gratitude to all beings in this universe. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all of you be happy and may all of you live freely. Thank you so much for your practice today. Namaste. Thank you all so much for coming. I know I've missed a bunch of comments. Anjali, oh, thank you for coming. And if I just run out a little early, Grace, oh yes. Grace, you can donate directly to my teacher profile page so Apple doesn't take their share. So you're welcome to donate here or donate directly on my profile page. You can just go there straight after class and hit donate. Much appreciate that. Patty says has to run. She had a doctor's appointment today. Thank you, Patty. I know she's gone. Jean, thank you so much. I'm glad it's just what you needed. Jeannie, thank you for coming. Grace, you are most welcome, and I'm glad it was a good start to your morning. Carmen, gracias. Gracias. Thank you. And de nada. Jackie, oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed the class today. Perfect pace. Oh, thank you so much, Jackie. Grace, sending you lots of hearts, and thank you all for the hearts that I was receiving during the meditation. So appreciate that. Christine, you are most welcome for the practice and for the breath work and stretches. Yeah, a little different, but hopefully you're feeling nice and open and good and not like you've overly exerted today. So, Anne, you are most welcome. Yes, wishing everyone a beautiful weekend. Thank you, Anne, for saying that. Yes, and thank you, Christine, about that. Barbara, thank you for coming. And if you guys are new and haven't followed me yet, please follow me on Insight Timer. If you would like to donate for an energy exchange today, that is always much appreciated, whether it's in the live. If you don't have an Apple device, you can donate here. There will be no extra fee. It's just Apple takes a chunk because they're, I don't know why. Anyways, yeah. So I hope you guys have a lovely, beautiful weekend. Feel free to drop me a message if you want to know a little bit more about me. Head on over to my Insight Timer bio. There's my link to my link tree in there. My new website is up and running. It has some flaws, but I'm really proud of me for getting it up and running finally. So you can check that out. I'm a spiritual lifestyle and health coach, all focusing on the wisdom of Ayurveda, which is yoga's sister science. So all this, the Reiki, the yoga, all of it goes hand in hand. You can learn a little bit more about what I do. And I'm here every Friday on Insight Timer, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And thank you so much for your donation. So appreciate that, you guys. And yeah, feel free to drop me a message. Send me a message on Insight Timer. I have a few meditations on here, not a lot. One of these days I'll get another one up. I have a few. You know, not my priority. It's funny because I do meditations every week here, right? Live in class feels different than recording. Anyways, thank you guys for coming. I'm going to sign off as I need to go upstairs and start my day. So I hope you have a lovely start or rest of your day. And I will see you guys next week, I hope. Sending you lots of love. Feel free to share my classes with your friends and buddies. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day. Hearts. Oh, Jackie today. Thank you, Christine. I didn't put it in my calendar. Jackie Mancuso's up in about 10 minutes if you want your astrological report, which I definitely do. So I'm going to have to listen as I do my things today. Thanks, Christine, for the reminder. All right. Send you guys so much love. I'll see you soon. Take care.